we're just two artists just trying to gain that experience, become more familiar with as many mediums as we can.
Welcome back to Talk Parlor number 13. I'm Adam.
And I'm Jordan.
And we're here to talk about last week's Roll for Art Flash Challenge and all the things that come along with it.
Yeah, and our recap.
That's right.
Last week we had our turtles in New School and acrylic paint and a cool color palette. And that challenge was awesome. It's a pretty fun podcast if you want to go check it out.
Yeah. Jordan took home the win.
Woo!
So broke the losing streak there. Sorry, was I supposed to point that out? Hey, I lost enough.
Yeah.
Okay. I can put a jab in there every once in a while.
You didn't hear me boast about it.
She did it silently. It's inside voices.
Right.
So yeah, no, Jordan won the challenge last week with her very cool New School
Padawan of the Pond.
Of the Pond.
Yeah, it was an awesome challenge.
It was a great challenge. I had a lot of fun with mine. Just really enjoyed doing something back from my childhood.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that was what I enjoyed the most about it, was just being able to kind of reminisce and like we had talked in the podcast, it wasn't something that was so hung up on all details.
Right. Yeah, it was something to really have fun with and let your imagination go.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was amazing. I mean, just a nice little break from the crunch that we've been going through.
Yeah, exactly. So, it was nice to do something without a reference photo too. That was nice for me. I just kind of, we touched on all of it in the podcast. Go check it out if you want to find out more about what happened.
Yeah, that's right. Talk Parlor number 13 on YouTube.
And all your favorite podcasting platforms.
You got it. All right. So this week's challenge. Wow.
Yeah, big wow.
We thought this was going to be amazing.
We thought it was going to be so much fun. And we both had really busy weeks, that's what hindered us. I feel like this week we had to do, we decided to do Link from The Legend of Zelda in black and white color palette using watercolors in fantasy illustration style. All of those are really cohesive, things to put together. But yeah, how'd you feel with that roll initially? How'd you feel about it?
The initial roll, so we rolled for style first, like we always do, and we got video game characters. So that was exciting because we've talked about it many times. Ever since we put video game character on the list, it was like,
that's what we've wanted.
We've wanted to do it. Yep. It's kind of like going back to the vehicle. We put the vehicle on the list and we wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And we finally got our opportunity to do it. And we had made kind of a side deal in the background that, hey, if we ever get to video game character, let's just pick between two, because you have your favorite video game character. Right. This happens to be one of my favorite video game characters. Yours was
Kratos from God of War.
Kratos from God of War. Mine is Link from Zelda, because I've played just about every Zelda game there is that's ever come out, for the most part, with the exception of a couple. And we decided in the background that that's what we were going to do. Higher than 10, it was going to be Zelda. Lower than 10, it was going to be Kratos. And we rolled a 14, and we ended up doing Link, which I was thoroughly excited for.
Yeah, we were both really excited about it.
I think the excitement was because it was something that was supposed to seem fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think we'll get into it later, but when something unexpected happened that really put the light on how unfun this could be. In the matter of, just because it's a video game character, it's more cartoon based, or, there feels like there's freedom. There's not as much freedom as there is with like New School, say.
That's such a good way to put it. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of freedom.
No,
you're so right.
You're very restricted to what you can and can't do. And I feel like that's something that, the excitement overexceeded the reality of the freedom.
Right.
that's my opinion looking back on it
Yeah.
now. So kind of got off the bit about how I felt. I was very excited in the very beginning about the whole concept. I mean, it was black and white. It was watercolor. We didn't roll graphite pencil. We really wanted graphite pencil, but whatever. It'll come eventually, I guess. It's just almost irritating, is what it is.
Yeah.
Um, and video game character. And so it was like, man, this is kind of check marking all the boxes that we've talked about for
Yeah.
weeks and weeks and weeks. And yeah, it was a lot more difficult than what I had originally anticipated.
And I think it was a lot more difficult than what we expected it to be, just because you and I both had difficult weeks. I had we had busy stuff going on throughout the week, uh side job stuff going on throughout the week, overtime going on throughout the week, family plans going on throughout the week, birthdays throughout the week. It was a busy week.
It was a very busy week.
Yeah.
And we had some misunfortunate things that come about, but
Yeah.
that's a different conversation for a different day. But
Right.
um, you know,
But it does show that no matter what, we always make time for this committed thing that we decided to do,
we
no
did,
matter what.
and that
Yeah.
is
Yeah. No matter what's going on, like, unless it was detrimental, you know what I mean?
right,
And then it's
right.
like, Adam, I actually can't, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there.
I'm in jail, like, or
Oh
something,
God, hopefully not. But
Yeah, hopefully
I
not.
mean,
But,
yeah,
you never know.
you
Um,
never know.
so we both just buckled down and really committed, and we said, "You know what? We're gonna hash out what we can hash out," and we have them presented. I mean, here we go. We at least both of us have finished pieces, and it's nice to be able to bring that to the table and stay committed to something that we're so passionate about. And I think that people see that also, that a year from now, I mean, we're gonna have so much more,
Right,
and we're still in the first 4 months, 3 months,
a little over 3 months.
a little over 3 months.
And
Yeah.
I hear people talk about this all the time. Um, and I'm going to go a little bit off subject here, but I hear people talk about this all the time, and a lot of it is with people who have these huge platforms.
Mhm.
They have a platform, so they utilize it to their advantage, right, wrong, or indifferent. They utilize it to their advantage, and by golly, I mean, do so.
Mhm.
You've worked your butt off, you've got the following. Use it to your advantage. Jordan and I, we don't have that platform yet,
Yeah.
but hopefully we will get that platform in the future, and that comes through us doing this week after week after week.
Mhm.
And what I hope, there's things that become enlightening to me, I guess is I can, sorry, having a hard time pronouncing that word.
Take your time.
But there's things that come apparent to me
Yeah.
um throughout the time of us doing this, and not all of them are apparent at once.
Mhm.
Not all of them become visually significant at the same time. And where I'm going at with this is what you said a while ago. No matter what's going on, we find time, whether it's just an hour here or an hour there, or whether it's sitting down Tuesday night and cranking this thing out.
Yeah.
After everybody's in bed, just sitting down and cranking it out Tuesday night. Does it make Wednesday bad? Yeah, Wednesdays aren't always the funnest because it happens to be the day that we enjoy the most, but sometimes we go into it tired because we've been up all night drawing
Right.
this.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm getting at. Our platform is very small and hopefully it grows. But through what we're doing, I hope somebody takes away from life can throw adversities at you.
Mhm.
Left, right, out of left field, out of right field, hit you smack dab in the face. And I hope that somebody out there is watching this and understanding that Jordan and I have regular, normal day lives.
Yeah.
And we work and we have families and we do all that stuff. And then there's always the stuff that you can't count on,
Yeah.
the things that just pop you out of the middle of nowhere. But yet we make no excuses.
Mhm.
We've committed something together. and we sit down and we do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
every Wednesday for the last 15 weeks, we have sat down, no excuses, done it. Have we complained about it? Oh, believe
Oh,
me,
yeah.
we have complained about it.
But also
I feel
we've
like I have
really
complained the last couple weeks.
but we've really motivated each other through it too, you know?
Right,
Every time that one of us are down and we're like, "Man, I just don't know how I'm gonna do this," or "I don't know if I'm gonna have the time. I don't know if I'm gonna have something to present for tomorrow." It's you got it, you know? Just make that time, sit down, knock it out. You do it every Wednesday anyways. You know, there's no difference.
right.
Just get it done and commit to it, you know?
And
And that's really motivating as an artist, you know, we're just two artists just trying to gain that experience, become more familiar with as many mediums as we can, and you know, perfect practice makes perfect, you know. And so if we're practicing every week on our techniques, on um learning other mediums, on gathering different styles and trying all these different styles, I mean, come time for our dreams to come true in the future, it's going to be really neat whenever we have all this experience drawing new school, drawing American neo-traditional, drawing fantasy illustration. When somebody comes and presents to us an image that they have in their head, and we are able to put that on paper through our experience that we have through this, our committed experience that we have through this, where we don't let distractions get in the way, it that end goal is going to be so much more rewarding because we've been putting in the work for it for a minute now, you
oh
know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want somebody to be able to take that away. I want somebody to be able to look at us and say, these are two people that fully understand they have other things going on in life. And sometimes life just sucks,
Mhm.
plain and simple. Sometimes life just sucks.
Yep.
But they find time to do this thing that they've both committed to and turn out quality work.
Yeah.
And there is no excuses. Everybody can do that same thing, in my
Yep.
opinion. If you have something you truly, truly care about, something that you truly, truly enjoy, there should be no excuses.
And you know what's kinda nice, is I kinda realized that I don't I don't really watch a whole lot of TV anymore. I really don't, and it's kinda good, you know, it's taken me away from the screen in my life, you know? And I mean, while I'm drawing or something, I'll listen to my audiobook, or I'll listen to documentaries on whatever subject matter it is that we're doing that week and stuff like that. And it really has been nice to just like, you know, get me away from the news, get me away from the TV, get me away from my phone screen, and commit to these, you know, accumulation of hours throughout the week to commit to your hobby. You know, and that can be the same for whoever's listening out there. You know, if you have your hobby that you miss that you had before, or that you feel like, oh, I just don't have the time to, it is possible to make the time for it. With our really busy schedules, we have realized it is possible to make the time for it.
It is, and it's not that we're neglecting anything else. We're
Yeah.
not neglecting the important things. We're
Right,
not
exactly.
neglecting our family.
Hmm.
It's just we've taken other things that are not important to us, such as
Exactly.
the TV,
Right.
such as sitting there and
Sitting
scrolling on
here
your phone.
doing this for,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
X
we've
amount of time.
we've put that time into something that we enjoy to do.
Right, into creating, into, you know, bringing your imagination forward, and just doing something neat, you know? Just
Yeah,
doing something neat.
it is. It's neat, and
Yeah.
and for us, there is an end goal. All this helps us get to our end goal.
Mhm.
So like I said, I didn't mean to jump off topic, but I just felt like that was a good thing to say.
Yeah, I agree, I agree.
You
And
know,
this week specifically, you know, especially in your life, it was, I mean, you busted out a hell of an image for everything that you had going on, so good job.
thank you,
Good freaking job, man.
thank you. You
Yeah.
did too.
I had dinner with my in-laws, so just kidding. Still had dinner with them. It's not that bad. It's not bad at all. It's just a joke.
Anyway, so like I said, I didn't mean to jump off topic, but I hope someday that we do have a platform to the size of some of these people that have them, and somebody goes back and listens to that, because especially if you're young and you're struggling with stuff, just know that everybody struggles,
Yeah.
and you can. It's up to you and only you to figure out how to manipulate your schedule and be able to still do things that you enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. You're
I
exactly right.
mean, that's the bottom line.
Right.
So anyway, I didn't do any research, you didn't do any research, so I think we're gonna jump right into design phase.
Yeah, let's jump right into the design phase.
I'll
Yep.
let you go.
So with my design, I had a well, we'll go back to how time was really consumed this week, right? So I had an initial image in my head that I really wanted to do. You know, I wanted to really emphasize the fantasy illustration and uh big time landscape stuff and lots of landscape details and I simply just did not have the time for it. I did what I was able to do with the time that I had allotted this week. So jumping into my design phase, I decided to go pretty link profile forward with the landscape design in the background. Um, so I found a couple reference photos. I chose the Link from Breath of the Wild, and like I mentioned, well, it's like a rendered version of Link from Breath of the Wild. Um, and yeah, like I said, brought him forward. I really wanted it to be easy to read his face and read who it is whenever you look at that. If you played the games, um, then you can look at this and say, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
Link
mean,
from The Legend of Zelda." You
yeah,
know,
and not more specifically, that's Link from Breath of
Breath
the
of the
Wild.
Wild,
Yeah,
right?
you asked me instantly, and I knew which video game it
Hmm.
come from.
Yeah, his tunic really helps show that.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, that's what I did, and then threw down some layers in the background with the Death Mountain,
Yep.
the Death Mountain volcano.
I believe it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
I believe it is also. Um, yeah, just threw that down and tried to throw down as much background as I could. Threw in a few little trees with the watercolor
Well,
here on the side.
and I think you did. Okay, so Jordan and I, it's something that we're learning constantly, but it's how to do certain things artistically
Hmm.
in the least amount of time possible.
Yeah, that's so true. I did this in like 4 hours.
Yeah. So the one thing what I want to point out on hers is the one thing that I think is very very well thought out artistically, but it really doesn't. I don't. I could be wrong.
Hmm.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, but I
Okay.
don't think it took her a long time to do it. But it adds so much impact,
Okay.
and that is this area right here. It is more silhouette style
Right.
than actually just packing in detail,
Right. Yeah.
but
But it
but
adds
it
so
adds
much.
depth
Hmm.
to it.
Right. Right.
So being able to do that quickly, being on time constraints, but still give it enough depth
Yeah.
added to it
Yeah.
is
And yeah,
perfect.
speaking of that with the design phase, so he's like on a cliff here,
Right.
right? So this is the bit of the cliff that he's on here. And he's even like kind of more above that
Mhm.
also. And then just bringing in those levels of shading. I guess I should have it's always darker before it dries, you
Right.
know. But bringing in those levels of shading, and the further it goes back, the darker it gets. Um, really just showing it pushed in the background, and you can tell these are formations. This is, and then if you've played the games and if you've been in this landscape before, you can tell that is Death Mountain. You know,
Right.
just from the shape of the top of the volcano. Um, and so it really pushes that all back. And you can tell the area that he's in without going in and adding all these teeny tiny fine little details, which I find is really hard to do with watercolor. Uh,
Man, is it ever?
yeah, yeah, like so my trees here, I just took like a rounded brush, a like medium round brush, and dip that in a little bit, and I would just dab, 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 and then let that dry. Go over it again, dab, 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 and then I just took a little 005 micron pen and just added very tiny little tree stumps in there to give that illusion that these are trees. And then I did like two other little trees that are a bit more. You can tell it's a tree. Um, but thankfully, since they're way in the distance, it doesn't require a whole lot of detail. Um, and then up here, I did want to make the cliff have a bit more life and some grass to it. I actually really like that rock. I think that rock looks good. um, so I took
The
it.
rock does look very good.
The rock is nice.
Yeah.
I can smell what it's cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for my grass, I took a fan brush and really spread that out, and put that in the watercolor,
That's
and
an
then just
interesting idea.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
little Bob Ross action there. And just fanned out some grass,
Happy
just
trees.
yeah, well, happy grass,
Happy grass.
happy grass.
Not the other kind of grass, but happy
Correct.
grass.
Yeah, not that happy grass. Yeah, not while we're podcasting, okay?
Okay.
Just kidding. Um, but yeah, just added some fanned out grass in there, and it came together.
Can we talk about one thing that I absolutely love it, and I don't know how you pull it off because I absolutely struggled.
What?
Your clouds look amazing.
Yeah, I didn't add clouds. That's just the layer of the watercolor. So I went and
Well, they look like clouds from here.
yeah, right on. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. So I just had really thinned out watercolor, and then I just went in strokes across the page, and just left that, it's just leaving it in layers.
Right.
Yeah, going over one layer more than the other. And then I was like, damn, that came out okay.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I like it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. You can tell, like, right here more specifically, like, it's just layers of watercolor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it turned out.
Right. Yeah. It turned out it was kind of like an accidental thing that
Happy
happened.
little accidents.
Yeah, happy little accidents. That's right. Happy little accidents of clouds. And whenever I noticed it was happening, I was like, look at that. That's pretty sick.
Done.
Done.
Stamp it
There's
done.
there's some darn clouds right there.
Yeah.
Some freaking frocking clouds. And yeah. Um yeah, I really dig the face. I will say I ended up going in with just a pencil
Mhm.
after I had shaded his face, and I added, his little battle marks
Yeah.
right there. And then I did just slightly emphasize the lips
The-
and the shadow underneath the nose
Yeah.
with a pencil. I
But
did
you
not
have to
feel
do that sometimes.
you have to add some fine details with a pencil sometimes, don't you?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Believe me, we'll get to mine.
Yeah. Another thing that I did that I didn't notice it quite at first, and I didn't think it would be that big of a change, but I took the white gel pencil, and I actually highlighted the tip of his ears, and I felt like it brought them so much more forward. Yeah,
Oh.
there was a big difference from whenever I just had it shaded with some of the gray watercolor compared to whenever I threw down some of the white gel pen
Mhm.
on it, just a little bit on the tips. It really brought it forward. I was like, huh, that
I
is a
like it.
huge difference. It looks really good like that.
Yeah, I
Huh,
like it. I think it is just solidly done
thank you.
and I mean, it just looks good.
I do like that it's a clean image,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that I was able to knock it out. Like I said, it was like 4 hours. And I was just crunch timing. I sketched it, and then I outlined Link himself in a pen, and then I didn't outline any of the background because I didn't want to show too much fine detail because I wanted it in the background.
Right.
Um, yeah, and then also on his tunic and stuff, all of his white pattern design, I didn't watercolor those at all. I didn't touch them at all.
Yeah.
I decided to just keep those blank.
Negative space.
Yeah, negative space, and because I didn't want to take away from any of the highlight of it,
Right.
you know. So yeah, that's my design phase.
Heck of a job.
Thank you very much. Thank
Heck
you
of a
very
job.
much. Now let's talk about yours. Yours is really sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I guess.
It is.
I really like it. I really do. I just say I guess. I don't know why I even said I guess. I don't know.
Because
I
it was
just
a hard week.
It was a hard week.
Yep.
So design phase, instantly Wednesday when we drew or when we rolled, within 30, 40 minutes,
Mhm.
I was showing Jordan, I'm like, I think this is what I'm gonna do.
Mhm.
This is the reference image I'm gonna use. And it was this image. Fast forward a few days later, hadn't started on it. Life went bazonkers,
Yeah.
and I in I ultimately got intimidated by the reference photo, and so I started looking at different I mean, I went through hundreds of
Oh,
photos, of
yeah.
reference photos
I'll say
because
that too real quick is I was really intimidated by a lot of the reference photos
yeah,
that I was looking at in my, design phase research. Man, yeah, there were many others that I wanted to do, but I was just like, I don't have the time to go in and get this done.
yeah,
I am so limited on time right now, and I need to get sleep
yeah.
at some point.
Oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And there was so many things that I loved about the reference photo. I loved the fact that it's in a mountain setting. I
Mhm.
love the fact that it appears or was supposed to appear somewhat foggy, as if he's up in the mountains.
Mhm.
I love the Spanish moss. I'm not sure if that's what it was in the reference photo, but that's what I'm calling it because that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
Um, so there were so many things in the reference photo that I just immediately was connected to. And it was just a cool freaking photo,
Mhm. It is a cool photo.
you know? Um, but like I said, life got bazonkers. And then I got intimidated by the amount of stuff that was going on in that particular reference photo, and so I started looking at other stuff. And I'm sitting there throwing images towards Jordan. I'm like, "Hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? What do you think
Mhm.
about this? What do you think about this one?" And every time, she's like, "I just don't think that meets fantasy illustration.
Yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
think that meets fantasy illustration."
Well, there were a couple that you were like, "I wanna do this one," and I was like, "If you put him in a scene,
If you put him in a
it would
scene,
work."
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was trying so hard to avoid the scene
Mhm.
thing because I'm like, I don't have the freaking time to do all
Mhm.
this. I didn't feel like, okay. Um, so I was finally after bugging Jordan a couple days in a row, I finally was like, screw it, Monday night. That's what I started with. That's what I'm gonna go back
Mhm.
to. And I was just like, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna throw it on paper and I'm gonna see how far I can get.
Yeah.
And I'm either gonna finish it or I'm not, but it's not gonna be for lack of not trying.
Yeah.
And so my goal was when I sat down Monday evening was to get it sketched out and get him painted.
Mhm.
And I knew if I could do that, then I could come back Tuesday and focus on the background. And I tell you what, um, I didn't change much from the reference photo just because I loved it so much.
Mhm.
Uh, but once I got him sketched, and then I sat down and I started painting. I really started like
Yeah, I
enjoying
mean,
it and
you
loving
killed
it.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was like, and I started up here with his hat, and I was like, if I can get that, then I'll just kind of keep working. And what I found myself doing was I did his hat. I didn't touch his face,
Mhm.
or his hair, but I did his hat, and then I think I come down here and I started working on his sword, and then I did his pants, and then I just kind of worked my way back up to his head. And I think I just what I was doing without realizing I was doing it was I was becoming more comfortable. I was going to the
Mhm.
easy areas
Yeah.
and understanding how to utilize the medium
Right.
without messing it up.
Right.
And then I mean it just flowed, and I think I did him in probably from start to finish 3 hours.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
think it was pretty fast.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's right, because you started sketching him out, and you were like, "I'm gonna paint him," and I'm on my way to work, and you sent me that photo. I'm like, "Whoa, Adam."
yeah.
Yeah.
So uh I did rely very heavily on the gel pen because I quickly realized that the areas that I needed to highlight,
Mhm.
I wanted to leave negative, and I tried to leave them as negative space,
I mean, they're so
but they're
small.
so small,
Mhm.
it was next to impossible to do.
Yeah.
I had to come back in with the jelly roll and jelly roll a lot of places out. I really focused on the sword because I do love just getting a metallic look.
I don't know how you do it, but you do it.
Dude, don't ask me because I don't know.
It's awesome.
I don't know how I do it. I just kind of follow the photo, and I'm looking for all the highlights,
Mhm.
and if it's super bright here, then it's super bright there. If it's kind of medium toned here, it's medium
Yeah.
toned, and dark
Just
really
like
just
with
playing with
your
those contrasts.
yeah, just like with your Freddy Krueger on his knife hand.
Yeah,
That was crazy how you were able to just make that metallicness of the metal come alive.
yeah.
And you do it every time we do something in metal.
Um, so then that was Monday. I had him finished, and of course, if you look at the reference photo, the detail that is in it is absolutely insane, and there's nothing. My detail is nothing like that detail. The chainmail, I had a really difficult time trying to do the chainmail. I did the best I could. The detail that they have on the armor is just, man, it's crazy. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And I sketched it in, and I'm like, okay, not doing that, erasing that, and I'm doing my own thing
Yeah.
because that's not happening. That is not happening.
Yep.
Um, so I just, the thing that I love, I really started to love it a lot the more I got, the closer I got finished with it. And then we jumped to Tuesday evening, and I just had him. I didn't have any background
Mhm.
in. So I kind of did it in two parts,
Yeah. Yeah.
realistically. Um and I wanted to do the background last because I figured if I could get him done and get the detail in it, then I can always, like Jordan said, you just throw something in the background if you
Mhm.
have to. And it was it was difficult in its own right. Some of it wasn't so difficult, but I've always struggled with like rocks, and I've always
Mhm.
struggled with you know just pulling off different effects, and I feel like I really nailed the rocks, um, the trees, the Spanish moss. Um, everything needed to have this really blurred uh feel to it, so it felt
Yeah.
like it was up in the mountains and in
Right.
the fog. So I was able to really rely on not having to deal with just these really finite details in
Mhm.
the background. Um, and then it come to clouds. And clouds, they're freaking horrible.
Right. Right.
I don't know how else to put it. They're absolutely freaking horrible. Because I don't, it's like you look at clouds and it's like in a reference photo and it's like, or even in real life, it's like they appear like little cotton balls. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what everybody says they are. They're just like, little fluffs of cotton balls. Well, yeah, they are, but within those fluffs of cotton balls, there is definition.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you don't understand how to put in, the thing is they're not like huge color changes.
Mhm.
And I think that's the biggest
It's
problem.
just the slightest with the slightest shadow in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to pull that off, especially when you have two colors that you can work with.
Yeah.
Um, but overall, I put in little flowers down here, and I put in a flower here, which were in the reference photo, but they don't look anything like what's in the reference photo. I kind of wish I would have done like mushrooms
Mushrooms.
instead. Yeah.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Um, you know, kind of an afterthought. Really, I stayed pretty close to the reference photo. I really did. I
Mhm.
didn't, and I think a lot of that is just because of the time factor.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of time to really play around with it and be free with it. Um,
What did you end up naming yours?
I named mine the hero in the Silent Veil.
Very nice.
Yes, yes, very like mystical.
Yeah, very mystical warrior in the mountains.
That's right.
Link in the mountains. Where's the princess?
I know. Um, you know, uh, if you've ever played Zelda, and like I said, I've played a bunch of them. Um, I what I wanted to try to capture one was, I shouldn't say try to capture because I did use a reference photo. I
Mhm.
think what really drew me to it is that it captures um that lonely hero feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Zelda, Link is the hero of the game, and he does it all by himself.
Mhm.
And that's what drew me to that reference photo. Um, so being able to go in there and still kind of put my own twist on it, um, using the black and white color palette that we were confined to, I think um, it really emphasizes the atmosphere, you know, and really highlights that solitude
Mm-hmm.
that you get when you play the game. Because when you play the game, there are certain times when it's like, man,
Yeah,
all by yourself.
right. For a long time.
Yeah, for a long time,
Yeah.
hours and hours and
Yeah.
hours and
Yeah.
days and days and days.
Yeah.
Um, so I just wanted I just wanted to capture my appreciation to the game.
That's cool.
It's a
Yeah.
game that I've played my whole life, and I just really wanted to capture that appreciation. And Zelda is very timeless um
Mm-hmm.
in the video game uh genre. I mean, uh so I don't know. I connected with it, knew what I wanted to pull off,
Yeah.
and that's what I tried to do.
Right on. Right on.
How about you?
So mine, I'm titling mine, The Shadow of Death Mountain. Shadow of Death Mountain. And, I'd say that my piece is really reimagining, the Link from Breath of the Wild. And I wanted to show kind of some raw determination of him and his face. And, the black and white color palette was really fun to work with. I really like the volcanic landscape. I feel like it echoes some of the hostile beauty of
Mhm.
that region in the game. Uh, it's a world where danger and adventure are always intertwined, and so I feel like that's really what it captures here. Is if you know that that's Death Mountain right there, that's the volcano. Here's Link. You know that there's an adventure. You know that there's a mission. You know that there is determination. There is adventure, and I like that that's what that shows here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Very cool.
Yeah, that's about the artist statement I have. Yeah. Shadow of Death Mountain, adventure, raw determination, bam, in your face, let's go.
Love it. And mine's all about solitude.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Maybe. I don't know. Haven't decided yet for today.
Right. Yeah. So
Likes. What do you like the most about your drawing?
I think what I like the most about my drawing is that, like I mentioned before, you look at this and that is Link from The Legend of Zelda. You can look at it and pinpoint which game it's from. I like that the shading on his face is really complementary to his eyes. I like that his tunic is clean with the design. And then I also really like his straps, his leather straps. And I like it so much because it is so hard to pull off a three-dimensional strap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And if you just add that slight shading there on the side and that slight highlight up above,
Mm-hmm.
you can accomplish so much with that. Just smart little details.
Yep.
Yeah, I really like that. I also really enjoyed the shading that I put on his tunics. Um, I dig it. I dig it. I like that it's a clean image. I like that it's readable. I like that it's in your face and you know who it is. That's what I like.
Love it.
A dislike that I have is probably his sword. And just because the reference image that I used of him, I had to blow it up. I really wanted to fit it to scale of the our size of paper, so I wasn't able to get his handle in there. You can tell it's a sword though. Like,
Yeah, you can tell it's a
mhm,
sword, but I kind of get what you're saying. It'd be
yeah,
nice. Did it happen to be a master sword?
yeah,
Okay. See that
and
that
it's a long sword.
it is a long
And
sword.
with him, his hands down here, you're not gonna capture, how that blade flares out and then
Right.
goes in. I'm capturing everything, from here to here
Right.
on there. I
Right.
am capturing the width of the blade. And if I had more time, I do believe that I could have emphasized that a bit more and really added more shine to it. I could have added a lot more shading. I could have made some smarter artist decisions while doing it, but it's a blade, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
And it reads as a blade.
right.
That's the key thing.
You can tell with your imagination, with how our brains are so awesome and how they work, you can you can put the puzzle pieces together and realize that he is holding something here
Right.
that is his sword.
Right.
Yeah. Um, that's about the only. If I had a dislike, if I had to say there's something that I don't like about it, in the time crunch that I did, I mean, like I said, I knocked it out in 4 hours, which I'm really impressed by. I'm like, good job, Jordan. You know, that's a victory in itself. Um, and yeah, I just say that I wish I would have given that blade a little bit more attention.
I think it reads,
Thank you.
and
Thank you very much.
that's all you want at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Exactly. How about you?
Likes. I love the detail that I was able to put into Link. I love. I'll kind of piggyback off you. The leather straps, the
Yeah.
buckles.
Yeah.
I love that.
All
Um,
of your armor detailing looks so good.
yeah, yeah. I just love the amount of detail I was able to pull out of it in a very short period of time.
Mhm.
Um, the thing that I absolutely love the most,
Mhm.
and it's probably going to sound off the charts wild,
Uh-huh.
is the little tufts of
Oh
fur.
my gosh, I was just gonna say
Dude,
that,
I
man.
love
The
them.
fur looks so good.
I know. When I
Yeah.
was doing it, I was looking at the reference photo and I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off. Because when I drew it in there, I was just like drawing like
Yeah.
little
Right.
triangles, all the way around. I'm
Right.
like, how am I gonna make this look like actual fur? But man, it freaking come together.
Yeah, it
Like
does.
it was wild
It
to
has that
watch.
roundness to it. It has,
It does, doesn't it?
yeah, and it has that puff outside of the armor.
Yeah, and I don't know if you ever get this, but I've gotten it more and more. And you say it all the time on the metallic part of it. It's like, how do you do that? I don't know how I did it. I
Yeah.
just did it.
Yeah.
Just like the tufts of fur. I don't know how I did it. I just did
You
it.
just did it.
It was the wildest thing to watch it really come to life. Um, my next favorite thing that I like the most is there's two things, and both of them are in the background.
Uh-huh.
I like how I was able to do what I feel like is Spanish moss.
Mhm.
I thought that's very cool. But this mountain right here,
Yeah.
I feel like that's something straight out of the video game that you're gonna see on the video
Yeah.
game. I think it's just awesome.
I agree.
Um, dislikes, I'll be honest with you, I don't know that I have any dislikes with it.
Nice.
Um, maybe maybe right here on the handle
Mhm.
of the master sword, I kind of jacked it up a little bit. Uh, but I mean, you would really never know. That would be the only thing that I really dislike the most about it. Everything else I pretty well love, um, other than the clouds.
Yeah, so let's talk about the clouds. Let's talk
Screw the
about some
clouds.
some
Screw the clouds.
challenges and some medium challenges and how we overcame those challenges. Let's talk about
So,
clouds.
medium challenges. Watercolors, the set that we have, and I'm sure out there somewhere in some universe, there's this big, massive
Yeah.
watercolor set. You have every color under the sun and every
Yep.
shade of black and every shade of gray to
I
your
I really think we should upgrade our watercolors.
to your arsenal. Do Jordan and I have that?
No,
No, we don't.
we just got this cheap little set.
Yeah, cheap little set. You know
Yeah.
what comes in a cheap little set? One gray marker, one black marker,
Yeah.
and that's it. And not that that's a bad thing,
Mhm.
but the fact that these were done with two colors.
Yeah, I really want to upgrade our set. So with the markers, this is how I do the watercolor is I go on another paper and I color the marker on there, really saturate it on there, dip my brush in the water, I go back over, saturate on that, dip my brush in the water, pull from that, get the shade that I want, go on here, do that spot, dab, 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 do that spot, and I'm like, it's all dry now. Saturates it. Yeah. We need different watercolors, man.
So, so I'm the exact opposite of
I've
you.
got another paper that is just full of watercolor smudges.
Yeah, I'm the exact opposite of you. If I want something really saturated in there, I'm putting marker directly on the paper.
See, I do that a little bit. I did that a little bit on the mountains, but I do feel that it does almost defeat the purpose of the watercolor sometimes.
Oh no, because I'm going right in over the top of it with water.
That's true. That's true. Yes.
Yeah, I'm putting it on the paper,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And then I'm
And then
taking my
taking that
brush, I'm
wet
dipping it
brush.
in water, I'm bringing it over here, and I'm pulling that color
Yeah.
out because right here's a prime example. If you look at his sleeve,
Mm-hmm.
see how it's real dark right there?
Right.
And it's dark up there in kind of the armpit area?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I saturated the color. I drew with the black marker directly on there and directly on there, and then took my watercolor brush and I
Mhm.
pulled that color out, pulled that color out, pulled the color out because I knew I didn't want it. I wanted it lighter here
Right.
in both
Right.
directions, but I wanted that absolute darkest dark I could get right.
Yeah.
Likewise on all these mountains, on all these rock faces, that's dark. I mean that's
Mhm.
putting the marker directly on there, and then I would do striations. So I'd do like a black line, a black line, a black line, black line, black line, black line,
Mhm.
gray right down the middle,
Nice. Nice. That's
gray right
nice.
down the middle.
Yeah.
And then I would take that water, dip it in water, bring it over here, boom, 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 just work it out, work it
Mhm.
out, work it out. That's
I like it.
yeah.
I like
and
it.
you
Yeah.
get that real. I felt like I was getting definition that way.
Yeah.
You know, you're
Yeah.
getting. You think of a rock. You
Right.
have low lights, you have highlights.
Right.
You know, you got that contrast, that deep contrast from crevices and stuff.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was able to really pull that out with that.
I think our next watercolor challenge we should upgrade though. We should
I agree.
upgrade and get something solid. And I say that also because with these markers that we use for our watercolor, I don't know if you guys can see it in the camera, but the hues there's hues of
Oh,
blue. This whole thing has a blue hue to it. There's hues of red and purple.
they just freaking come out of
It's
nowhere.
happening, and I'm like, okay, nice.
Got to deal with that now.
Yeah. So
Which
so I would really like to check out a different watercolor set. If anybody has recommendations, and if you've made it this far in the podcast, go ahead and leave a recommendation down there
yeah,
at the
throw them in
bottom.
the comments,
We'd love to see
guys,
it.
because
Yeah.
I would. I'd like to know. You know, I have a bad problem of okay, let's upgrade. Oh, we're gonna upgrade.
Yeah.
You know, we're going.
We're gonna spend $675 on watercolors.
Jordan's like, okay, we're gonna upgrade, but we're not gonna allow Adam to upgrade.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I'm sure there's some very expensive watercolor sets out
Mhm.
there. But you know, I would like to play around with like not
Something that leaves a better gradients, you know,
Something that
something where
leaves a-
there's not the hue.
right, something that
Yeah.
leaves a better gradient, but maybe something that you know. I'm going to use this term lightly. You remember the Crayola watercolors that you get?
Mhm.
Like they were
Yeah.
have little, you know,
Right.
there's like 8 or 9 colors in the little
Yeah.
tray.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering something about like that, just not Crayola.
Not Crayola. Yes, I agree. I agree.
Something like a solid that you're actually
Mhm.
putting the water in, you're pulling the paint out,
Yeah.
and then you're putting
Yeah.
it on your paper.
And that's what I try to mimic with the markers.
Right.
That's why I go on the paper and I really saturate it on there. Get the water, you know, mix that up, make the color.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yeah.
So there were lots of challenges with the medium this week, but
I will say that with a lot of this stuff that we've done, we've kind of started cheap on a lot of it.
oh yeah,
You know,
yeah,
we have started cheap on all of it.
yeah. The most expensive thing I think I have to date is probably my color pencils.
Yeah, same
But
here.
that's something that I've wanted, guys. I've wanted this set of color pencils.
Well,
for a long
I'd say our alcohol markers.
Well, yeah, but my color pencils are, you know, my set of color pencils are $175.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
It's a big set.
it's a big set though.
Mhm.
It's got just about every
Right.
Prismacolor you can get. It's the
Yeah.
biggest set that Prismacolor makes that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Next would be the alcohol markers.
Yeah.
And really they're, you know, I'm gonna butcher the name, but
Ohana?
Ohana, Oahu or something.
Oahu?
Oahu, I don't know. Anyway, they're
Aloha?
there's Copics, which are like top of the line, and I'm sure they're worth every penny, but they're just they're
It's
out of my price
right,
range.
and it's nice to find those happy mediums, you know,
Yeah,
because if you can work with a happy medium and make it look good,
yeah,
you can do anything.
yeah. Because Prismacolors. Most everybody feels like Prismacolors are a top of the line color pencil.
Mhm.
I'm here to tell you they are not.
Yeah.
There is some out there that go like she wasn't joking when she said six,
Mhm.
$700. There is a set of color pencils out there. Karen Diash, I think, is who makes them,
Mhm.
and they're no joke, $600 for
Yeah.
some pencils. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean I wouldn't want to try them.
Right,
You
exactly.
know?
Can I get a sample?
Yeah. So I think there were obviously challenges with the medium this week. Um, you know, uh, uh, just because I think we were
Mhm.
limited to the two colors
Yeah, and the time crunch.
and the time crunch.
Yeah.
Collaboration,
I don't think we really did any.
we didn't, guys.
Yeah.
This is like first week in a long
Yeah,
time
that
that
we
we didn't
didn't.
collaborate,
Right.
and which is kind of unfortunate. But a lot of that was just time.
Yeah, just time. And I
We've
was really sucked into the audiobook that I was listening to, so we were sitting on the phone and I'm like, I gotta hop off here and find out what's happening in this in this book. So
oh oh that's what happened. Really?
yeah.
I just thought you were booting me off. But
No, I was reading a book. Well,
oh
listening to a book
well,
and doing this.
it didn't really.
Which it really helped pass the time too, because I was tired. I would have much rather gone to bed. You know, Bree and I got back from dinner last
Oh,
night
dude,
and
look, who are you talking about? You like, I'm gonna jump off here, and I'm like, I could tell you weren't tuned into the conversation. I'm like, cool, fine by me, because I'm going to bed.
yeah, exactly, exactly. You know, Amazon, I'm like, I'll probably be up for a little while longer, you know.
Yeah, so it didn't hurt my
Yeah.
feelings, but it's still always nice to be able to
Mhm.
collaborate. I mean,
I agree.
I think we
And
did
then
collaborate
whatever
some.
we did with the watercolor techniques and stuff while we were both working on it together.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, how about we move on to
Our new segment,
out with the old
and with the new.
yeah.
In this segment, we obviously we're done with these. We're done
Mhm.
with Zelda, and we're going into next week. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right.
We're going into next week, which is
A Deadpool, an American neo-traditional style done in
oh,
graphite
graphite pencil.
Yes,
Finally,
gosh dang, for 15 weeks we have yet to roll graphite pencil, and finally it has happened. We are so stoked to just finally draw. I'm so excited.
she said 15 weeks. What y'all don't understand, there are times that we had to re-roll.
Mm-hmm.
We've never, ever, ever rolled a 6
Yeah.
in 15 weeks out of even in some of the other stuff.
Right, and that's out of 10. That's just out of 10.
Yeah,
So,
out of 10.
yep.
So the odds are not great.
Right.
But
Right.
hey,
But it
guess
should have
what?
happened already. We've rolled every single one.
I know.
And finally we got our
Finally.
number 6.
Yep.
Yep.
So I think it's going to be cool. I mean, what do you think? I know you're
I'm
stoked.
so stoked. I'm so excited to just draw, you know?
Yeah.
And we also got that really smooth sketchbook also with the heavy weight on it.
Mm.
That's going to be really nice to actually draw on
Yep.
instead of just sketching our designs. I'm so excited to just kind of for me go back to what I know best. And it'll be kind of scary because I haven't drawn with graphite pencil in a long
it's
time.
wild.
Yeah.
I bought
Mhm.
a brand new set
Yeah.
of drawing pencils. Brand new set.
Mhm.
It's actually funny because I bought 2 sets.
Mhm.
And one of them showed up and they were all gone.
Oh yeah, that was
They
wild.
were like 5 of them gone, 6 of them gone out of the
Mhm.
whole set, and then half of them were used. And I'm like, I'm opening this up, and I'm like, huh,
Yeah.
okay,
Excuse me.
we have a problem.
Yeah.
So I sent those ones back. I got an entirely different set, and they've been collecting dust.
Yeah. Right.
Literally collecting dust.
Right.
So it's going to be exciting to be able to use those, and
I just have ideas popping off in my head right now. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Deadpool, you know, I think Deadpool's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna keep it a chest
Yeah.
up.
Yes. Really just focus on,
Yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. I really can't wait to get in there and just
yeah.
really start playing around with contrast.
And
Using
it'll be cool
pencil.
to bring Deadpool to the American neo-traditional style.
Yeah,
It'll be neat.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's time. I think
is
we
that
wrap
it?
it up. Yeah, I think we touched on everything. I think it was a great talking session.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to Talk Parlor number 13, the podcast where we discuss our art and how we go head to head and put our creations up for your vote. Please be sure to follow us on Facebook at Parlor number 13 by JNA, as well as on Instagram and Talk Parlor number 13 on YouTube and all your popular
Favorite podcasting platforms.
Um,
Don't forget to like and subscribe with comment with your thoughts and choose your favorite artwork if you haven't yet.
yeah. And as always, let your inspiration soar, and together we create, we inspire, and we transform art into a journey. And as always, we'll see you at the next challenge, and wherever you're at,
Be safe. Goodbye.
goodbye.
Farewell.
It's over.
Goodbye, traveler.
That was like 50 some minutes.
It was 55-minute podcast.
Yeah, I think it was good.
I think it was good too. I think the time crunch was nice to say F you.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it kind of was.
It just gives you more freedom.
Right. Freedom!